long ball number 3 here. An Everton fan was banned and got in a spot of trouble after he's been banned from attending Everton's final Premier League match at Goodison Park after allegedly smuggling tools into the stadium so that he can attempt to remove his seat.
Yes,
this is just a funny story in general. It kind of sucks that he got caught. He won't. I'm assuming he's a dedicated fan that wanted that last piece of
course he is.
Memorabilia or whatever, but he won't be able to attend. But it is pretty funny that he went to these lengths to smuggle in tools, but kind of leads Jason and I to ask, what would you try to steal from your team's stadium if it was I think if it was noted that it was closing?
The caveat here, so obviously, so producer Jenny was telling us before the show that she has some of the dirt from Tiger Stadium. I don't think it takes a lot to grab some dirt from Tiger Stadium. I mean, you got to get to field level, but it's not like you need tools to. You need a bag and you put the dirt in the bag and you go home. I want to know what you would go to this lengths to get. I want to know what you would be smuggling tools into the building to take with you after, when the stadium is torn down, you want to have some memorabilia. What would you take? Because it's the level of effort here that is the remarkable part of the story. Like people rip out. In fact, we've had issues of ripping out seats in Major League Soccer in the last couple of years. People have done, terrible things to opponents' stadiums. That's whatever. It's that you jumping on the seat to break it. Don't be an asshole. Don't do that. But in terms of I want to take something home with me. They're going to tear down Goodison Park. They're going to tear down the stadium that my team has called home for many years. I want something to remember it by. I'm going to sneak in a screwdriver. I'm bringing. I don't know what else do you need, Rob? What else do you need to take a seat out?
I think you'd need some sort of a wrench because they're probably bolted to the ground in some way. So there's probably some wrenches, maybe some power tools, maybe a
power tools would be that would be tough, right? To get the power tools in the building. This is a good question from Ian. He tried it on game day. This is a daylight robbery situation. This is not. I don't think this is like a heist where you're going in cover of night or sneaking in. I think this has, because how else do you have access to the building? Right. So, I mean, all right. The club state that an individual brought tools into the 133-year-old ground for the top flight fixture against Ipswich Town on May 3rd. That was the next to last game at Goodison. So they tried to, during a game, people are cheering for the Toffees. And he's like,
did you bring the socket wrench
out? Just crazy, man. I mean, so we were talking about this. We don't have a lot of legacy stadiums for soccer in America. Those don't really exist.
Yeah, did anyone try to steal stuff from the Columbus's old stadium?
It's
still open, but
they still use it. But yeah, I don't know. That stadium's 28 years old. It's barely scratching the surface of old at all before they moved on. I think about Providence Park, which goes back to, I think, to the 1920s. But it had so many different forms in Portland. It's not been the way it looks now is not the way it looked then. And it doesn't even really resemble, except for the fact that they can't build on that one end because there's a gym. There's one end of the stadium in Portland that they can't build on because there's the Multnomah Country Club gym or so. I don't know what it's called.
There's a lot of stuff going on in and around that stadium. There's a lot of relics of the past.
Yeah, no, and that's why it's cool, because it's plopped into the city like that. Anyway, so for me, I immediately think about Fenway Park because I am a Red Sox fan and I'm a baseball history guy. And I'm thinking, what would I try? I think if you go to maybe I wouldn't need tools, but give me a number from the hand operated scoreboard. Give me something from the hand operated scoreboard if I'm at Fenway Park. Right?
I just thought of something comically over the top, like if the green monster disappears and then in your backyard there's just the giant green wall. It's a modest collectible.
Wasn't that Carmen Sandiego? Carmen Sandiego has stolen the green monster from Fenway Park, and you have to find her. It's always something that you can't actually steal.
She hid it under her coat.
That's right. She walked out with Fenway with the green monster under her trench coat. I do respect the passion. Right? I do respect the desire to hold on to something, and this also points to something else that has happened. Right. Everything is for sale. Everything is for sale in 2025, and it's been this way for a while. If Fenway Park was being torn down, it's 100% that FSG would sell every single nut and bolt and seat and piece of wood and hand operated this and that. They would do all of it. They would sell all of it, and you would have to buy it if you're a fan. And maybe that shows your passion. You're willing to plop down some of your hard-earned cash to get a piece of your old building. But I guess some people, and I imagine this fan's thinking, which wasn't great, was, hey, this is my club. Like, who cares who owns the stadium? Who cares, whatever's going on with like the financial part of it? I am a fan. I've been in this seat for so many years. This is my seat. I'm taking it with me. You don't get to tell me that I have to pay for it or whatever.
A cool sign or something would be fun, but I don't know if what are you going to do with that chair? Are you just going to have like a random chair in your basement?
Yes, of course. You told me there are Tiger Stadium seats around the Detroit metropolitan area.
There sure
people
are.
have probably proudly displayed in their houses.
Yeah,
come on.
Just a random uncomfortable chair bolted into your living room, and there's an ice cream shop. There's a couple of them down the way, and yeah,
this
definitely.
Is why we have good. That's why I have good viewers, by the way. Brent is pointing out the Multnomah Athletic Club. I think it's Multnomah. Is that what it is? That's the end of the stadium in Portland that they can't put any seats on. There's like a little small section. The athletic club built the stadium. It was actually like a track and field stadium, I think, back then. And then they played baseball and American football and now soccer. So
you ever seen that? A random shout out to this stadium reference, but do you ever see that old documentary, The Battered Bastards of Baseball?
Of course I have. Of course I have. Kurt Russell plays a part in that documentary. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, Providence Park, got a little cameo that I was like, oh, worlds collide here. I did not expect that connection when watching the baseball doc, but that's a good one. That wraps up our long balls here for Friday the 16th. If you're watching this show right now and you hadn't hit subscribe, you haven't hit the button, you won't get spam. You won't get anything like that at all. It's easy, free. You can just do it, and it helps the channel tremendously. If you want to take a step further, memberships are now available. You can hit that button, become a member, help support the show. You get access to videos early, priority commenting, and much more.